Yeah, you see it.
Yo, yes, that's
Peace
cute.
and grace, Kinfolk. Welcome to another episode of the Black Owned Podcast. I am your host, the main man with the game plan, and the game plan ain't the same plan. I've been a major figure since baby pictures. Janice's oldest boy, Sincere, is in the building, and I got my co-host with me.
Hey, y'all, it's Peaches. Y'all know why I'm here.
Hey, man, just a couple of things to get out the way. Please follow us, share this live. Follow us on IG, Twitter, YouTube, all of that. At Black Owned Podcast is all at Black Owned Podcast. If you are the owner of a Black owned business, please email us one blackownedpodcast@gmail.com. That's the number one blackownedpodcast@gmail.com so that we can have the privilege to highlight you and your business on our weekly spotlight. Peach is what it is today. We kicking off this Black History Month.
It's
Uh-oh. The ghost of Christmas past
back.
is getting you. All right, what we got? Black History Month kickoff. Let's go.
Okay, yes. So this Black History Month isn't going to be anything like the one that you learned coming up in school. You know, of course, Black Owned Podcast, we keep it live, raw, and truthful, and direct from a point of view. You know. We have a special guest here. You guys see him every week. He's here, faithful, loyal supporter. G-Man 1112.
Hey, G-Man, what's going on?
Doing out there?
We doing good, brother.
Okay.
It's good to see you.
Yeah, likewise. If you see me, definitely you know I'm good.
All right,
you don't see me, keep it. It's a question mark.
Well, anyway, like Pete just said, we wanted to kick off the Black History Month in the way that only the Black Owned Podcast could. And we were lucky enough, you know, since you and Peaches are kinfolk, to have you step forward and bless us with a little poem to start things off so you can set the tone for the rest of the month.
Word. Well, I feel blessed to bless y'all podcasting.
Hey, appreciate it. The floor is yours, young man.
Yeah, okay. Well, this piece is called Bamboozle Still. Y'all can see what it means right there. My people, Black people, how does it feel to be fully integrated into this American socialization? Personally, I'm feeling the inflaming sting of putrid gentrification. Moreover, have most Black businesses gone on a permanent basis? Now, more than Arabs, Eastern Indians, and Asians sell goods in the hood with brakes on taxation. They live better than we do off our communities. But when ish hit the fan, they scream diplomatic immunity. The Black dollar is really strong, but only in mainstream America. There's no Black economy in our community except for the hustlers, proving that this system, the beast, don't really care for us. Game has really changed since the age of the Black vote. And it's in our pocket and the foot is on our throat. While police kill Black men with a tactic called the 5-on-1 chokehold. Yeah, a hand is in our pocket and our hoods are against the rope. They made parking lots out of the high-rise projects where goods filmed in Chicago. In Ohio, doing the same War 7 in Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland and Clinton on the same thing. Displacing the people, and it don't matter what rate is really increased for sure. While conglomerates in skyscraping buildings as they be niggers. Take the figures out the hood, we can't take the hood out the figures. Which to the Kentucky Triffica fried African-American gangster perping on your fifth, riding around like pranksters. I know the game got nuts, but you should just give something back, handle your business, Don't be so seen and shut the fuck up, because real G's move in silence. What about me? I'm 1% gentrified. I'm on the front lines every day. I seen us die trying to survive. I'm a 99% soldier in this war, like trying to save Private Wine. But I'm only a single spoken token in this plight. And even if Nat Turner was alive today, it'd be an uphill fight, because we've been systematically centralized. And only the way that they rob us has changed since Martin Luther King died. To the independent Black woman, respect and understand the flight of your Black men. Support us forever. Then we win. We need to all instill good morals, self-esteem, and the pride of ownership in our children. Let's protect them by any means necessary. For one, by letting them know the real deal. Because only the way they crack our heads has changed since Malcolm X was killed. Make no mistake, Black Owned Podcast. We are bamboozled. And that's it.
Hey, that was dope. Hey, shout out to 5-0 for providing that good background music at the right time.
Oh, y'all hear
Hey,
it is what it is.
Hey, man, it ain't real if it ain't got background. You hear me?
No, okay. He said he the 99. He the 99.
The 99. Yeah. Listen, that was good, man. I really like that. Tell me what drew you to write that?
Pissed off and knowledgeable enough to have all this information within my, but it came from really a sense of being fed up, right, and something that should be heard from a real true Black perspective. And I know that it's more poets out there than me, and I know it's poets out there that got that sense of urgency. See, and I done seen them, but it might be the same thing that drove them. You know, it's our perspective. It's something that you can't take away. And see, I live in a history of, I had a knowledge of world history. And within that world history is definitely Black history first. Facts. Because for one, we was first color on the planet. You know, everything else came yellow, brown, whatever. They came after us, you know. And I just it was just something that was just driving me.
Yeah, and I don't see and I, you know, and I'm glad you said, you know, it came from a place of being pissed off, because we need that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we have a right to be pissed off, actually. And I don't, you know, I'm not one that really likes all of the PC, you know what I'm saying, if you will. So and it's just hard enough walking around being us. When you were writing that, excuse me, what was the overall point you was trying to convey?
The overall point,
I can answer it. He bamboozled steel.
Facts. You hear me? Yeah.
And see that still, a lot didn't even finish written. Because one thing to me, we act just like our professors. To me,
you preaching?
How
you preaching
about how it is from us. I mean, you can go back to the Willie Lynch letters. You know, this was letters on you know, slave owners actually went to the Caribbean, you know, or the West Indies to hear this letter, this speech from this guy on how to control your slaves. And you know, it was basically a divisive thing to keep us at odds against each other. And it don't matter light skin, brown skin, that they against each other, big, tall, or whatever, halves or halves not. We bamboozle. In this letter, in closing, what this man said, he said that if you follow these guidelines in which I have written in this letter, then they will be messed up 400 years after they are freed.
You definitely got it.
It's going on and on and on. So within this poem right there, that thought is, I don't mention it, but that thought is stemmed in there. We not all of us, but the mass of us are lost. And then some of us know this, but we still don't have enough discipline to adhere to wanting to do better, not just for, if you do better for yourself, then you do better for your people. And I ain't just talking about doing better for yourself, being stingy.
Indeed. And I would say I would definitely say you've hit and made all of those points, man. I appreciate you.
Me too. Thank you.
That the poem was good, man. Hey, keep writing that. Keep being pissed off, man. Keep being pissed off. You hear me? Okay. Which shouldn't be hard to do as a black man. You hear me? All right, brother. Peace.
Thank you, guys.
That was good. I like that.
Me too.
I like that. So let's go ahead and get at it. You already know what time it is.
Oh, it's Peaches Picks time.
Hey.
The first one, which is significant, especially today. Can y'all please tell us why the rest of the world has recognized the Proud Boys as terrorists, but America hasn't? Canada has officially named the Proud Boys organization terrorists. It's something to look at, as we go on through today. Mm-hmm. I'm still gonna get with the funny stuff, but time to kick a little knowledge right here. Then my second pick, Sincere gotta help me out, reel me in, because I'm gone. I'm still going off the poem. What was my Peaches pick?
The celebrity.
Okay, just like you said, bamboozle still.
Bamboozle still.
Did you guys notice that anytime there's time for an election, we find ourselves with celebrities as a spokesmodel or as a prop in order to earn the black vote? And what's even funnier is the celebrities that they pick already be washed up, like they have no validity in it.
And
now they took from our boy Obama. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that because it's black owned. And the way that Puff Daddy and them led the whole movement to go out and vote.
Right.
Of course, they looked at that and felt like it would work for them, but instead they went and recruited the likes of Kanye West. He a billionaire off the top because of what he did.
Right.
For us. Mm-hmm. Kim Kardashian. That's Ray J slide.
Yes.
This the same dude that was wanted to have to sit down with Trump. Nothing wrong with it, but he ain't been nothing since he was driving them kids to wherever he was.
Are we there yet?
Mm-hmm. Why?
I at least gotta give Cube a little bit. I gotta give Cube a little bit of credit. At least he had an agenda.
Man, that's why we gonna get to this mountaintop.
Go ahead.
The agendas.
Okay, go ahead.
I just feel like that's not the place. Once I get in and I elaborate more, or we get on our main topic, you'll understand and see where I'm coming from. It got to be a line in the sand. And when do we as a people tell them to sit the fuck down? And like Kenny George said, shut the fuck up. Like, stop pimping us out.
Yeah, that's a big fact right there.
You got to stop pimping us out to the highest bidder.
Right. I mean, the thing is they make themselves look bad. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Especially when we think about these antics that Kanye had been going had been doing for the whole time that that Trump was the president. It's hard to even take him serious.
My thing with Kanye, that's a mad scientist right there.
That's exactly why I was saying it's hard to even take him serious because you don't know if this is real or if he just like on some, some mad scientist type thing. He just trying to drum up
what he was doing.
Money up.
He's been influenced and he felt like he had the position, which he did, to make some moves and get people released from jail. The thing is he went about it wrong. He went to Trump. And as I say every day, 10% of the black men in prison is in the faith.
We get released from jail.
Him and Kanye, or him and Kim Kardashian.
Him helped get people from out of jail. Kanye had nothing to do with it. Kanye is a nut. I'm
gonna send you a sad link or whatever that came out because they beefing. Yes, he did, but it is what it is. But he politicked, but he did it to the wrong level. Whatever he wanted to change, you got to start at the state level. Some of the people that if you want to get in their pockets and pimp them like they pimp you, don't get in here and be like, oh, if I get in office, nah, we need a contract. We ain't know about it. We ain't with the snitching. Well, I don't know. It is the Chinese New Year and it's the year of the rat. So y'all be careful out here. But you using it for the wrong. You got people that you can really back that's in your neighborhood. So whatever. Don't nobody want you to hand out no turkeys once a year. Come out and feed something. These kids and these people need this type of uplifting and support all year round.
Right. So what you saying is we need to be more active on the local level.
The local and the state level where we can invoke change.
Okay, I'm with that.
The governors, them governors are the ones that and the local and state politics is the one that will change the laws as far as the criminalization and everything. Anything that y'all see on TV that Biden is signing and everything, it's affecting 10% of the people that it should be helping.
Yeah, for federal. At the federal
level only.
Yeah, right. But at least we can't say that Cube had a contract. I mean, you're just gonna fly over that. Cube had a contract. I mean, and I'm just saying. He had a serious agenda that outlined some things that need to get.
But Kanye West did too. Did you read why he did that?
West, no,
he's nutty.
That Kanye West did not have an agenda. He had an agenda for himself.
Yeah.
And right. So I'm saying that Ice Cube had an agenda for Black Americans, period.
Man, nobody want to hear that. With Trump?
Hey, man, check it out.
With Trump in the bed.
He didn't even say with Trump. He said with whoever will listen.
No, he was petitioning for Trump because
he was petitioning for both sides.
Twitter blew his ass out the water. He already was
Black Twitter.
Yeah, they blew his ass out the water.
It's Black Twitter.
Us. Another thing that I'm gonna get into.
You gonna have to school me then. Let's move. Let's move.
Okay, we're gonna move.
Yeah. Hey, look at that. Hey, Antoine, you're right. You did have a plan, Antoine. You right. Cube. Hey, Antoine, you right. Antoine, you right. Cube had a plan.
Man, go ahead.
Black Business of the Week Spotlight. Go ahead and introduce Peaches.
How you doing, guys? So, of course, I have to say how I know Chaz. The degree tailor-made. Shout out. Black on podcast shirt. Hey. We're gonna hear what inspired her, and I've closed out my link so I can't get her demo. That's why she's gonna come and do it herself. It's a live podcast, and she didn't send her stuff in early. So, without further ado, let's bring Chaz to the forefront.
What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, good people?
How are you guys?
We are doing great. How are you?
I am wonderful. I'm glad you guys like the shirts.
I sure did. I got mine on Tuesday. I was like, yeah, great. Hey, it's soft. You know what I'm saying? It fit right.
Good quality.
You know what I mean? I appreciate that. I thought you was gonna send one of them Gildan shirts.
No, I said, let me give you guys something good, you know?
Hey, we appreciate it. We appreciate it.
It was real neat. She had her own personalized tags and everything. I pulled my shirt out the tag like it was Gucci, y'all.
Yeah, okay, facts. You know what I mean? Had the little tag, the little thank you, little card in there and everything.
So, Chaz, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what inspired you and what exactly Tailor Made Creations is?
Yeah, so I've always wanted to own a business. You know, I'm a business-minded person. I have plenty of degrees in business, master's degrees in business. And so I really wanted to, you know, do something for myself and open up a business. I'm in the military, did military full time, and then came out and came into the reserves. I'm also a government employee. You know, but I wanted something that was my own and kind of work for myself. And then 2 years ago, I had a baby, and I'm that mom. You know, I'm a first time mom, and so I was hitting up Target, I was hitting up Etsy, and I was making all these, you know, buying all these things for my son for holidays and birthdays. And I said, you know, I think I could, you know, do that myself. So I invested in the equipment and stuff like that. And as a hobby, really, nothing as a business. But I had already, you know, prayed about it and talked to my dad. My dad is a pastor, and we talked about it. And it was really on my heart to, you know, open a business. And it just dropped in my lap. Like I said, it was a hobby at first. And then I posted some of the stuff that, you know, I had did initially. And shout out to my friends and my family who have supported me from the jump when, you know, I started this thing. And it just took off. And, you know, I appreciate, like, you know, my friends and family, like I said, who are supporting, never commenting and asking, you know how it is, y'all. Can I get a discount? You know, supporting me, supporting me, and really just kind of launching this thing. And so it really took off and has become something. I started doing this, I would say, officially in June of last year. And now I'm to the point I'm a full-fledged business LLC. You know, I have I've turned my home office into my business with all of my equipment and everything that I need to do, you know, do what I need to do. So
what do you make?
Huh?
Besides the shirts, the screen prints, what do you specialize in?
Yeah, so I got a couple things. I do a lot of stuff with promo, guys. So if you guys have businesses or anything like you guys see with the t-shirts, but here I have these are some custom car coasters, good for, they go in the car, you know, to soak up whatever. This you can buy them by the dozen, and you give them to, you know, your customers and stuff like that. I have a lot of people invest in that. Of course, t-shirts. I do a lot of stuff with tumblers. This is one that I just did the other day. This is a tumbler. And then here is a QR code that you scan, and it goes directly to the Purple Rain video. You could do this with a memorial, with a voice, with a song, with an anniversary, anything that you can think of, I could put on this tumbler. Another great thing that people invest in as far as promo goes, if you have business and stuff, these are good. I do anything. Here's some other like sippy cups I do for kids. I do a lot. I do stuff with blankets, plaques, children's stuff. I do a lot of stuff. Here's a onesie that I made.
I like that.
And anything that you see, you know, anywhere, I pretty much can recreate it or design it, you know. So I've really gotten into, because it's now, you know, my business, and I have had to invest in it and learn more. So now I've gotten more into doing design work and things of that stuff that I never thought that I would really be doing, but I really enjoy doing it. I really enjoy making this stuff. And so it really has been a journey up to this point, and I'm just, you know, I'm just enjoying it.
Since the pandemic, is business up or down?
Man, I'm big, booked and busy. Booked, blessed, and busy. Absolutely. You know, I'm getting a lot of business, especially for the holidays and stuff like that come up, different things. And like I said, I do anything from anniversary to birthday parties to memorials, you name it, I can do it.
And so I know sometimes, you know, as a small business owner myself, a lot of times small businesses kind of need help from other small businesses as a sourcing spot. And it's the reason why I asked when we were speaking before, there was a MOQ, a minimum order quantity. If
No,
they
I'm a small business and I'm just
right.
getting on my feet. I can't come tell nobody you got to order 50. I can't. I'm not there yet.
Right.
And so I'm all about coming together and working together as small businesses, Black-owned small businesses, and helping each other how we can. You know what I'm saying? I think it's very important. And I also think it's very important. One thing I want to say too is a lot of people, they have these ideas, they have these dreams and goals, and they're scared to step out on faith and take that step to do it. And all I can say is just do it. You can't do nothing but fail and go on to the next thing. And if you don't fail, then you can never know. And I think a lot of people tend to, what I've heard from just being in different groups and dealing with different small business and people, I think a lot of people tend to say, like, for example, oh, well, I know some other people that do that, or I know some other people that make that, but that doesn't matter because there's 100 car companies, there's 100,000 makeup companies. It's all about how you promote yourself and your business.
Exactly.
That matters.
Exactly.
You could be doing the same thing that the person next door is doing, but it's all about how you're promoting your business and yourself. And
100%
so that's what I've
agree.
been trying to do to get my business out there, and it's been doing well.
Okay, so I have to say that Chaz, the missdegree.com.org.edu. I have to do this. I pushed her to go to school, and when she started, she never stopped, and that was what, 2007?
Yeah, I started going to school. I started going to school, I think 03.
Yeah. It was a long time.
Yeah, I went on 03, and she's right. She did push me because I was like, I'm not finna do it, whatever. I was getting out the military. I didn't want nothing to do with the military anymore. And so I was like, deuces, you know what I'm saying? But then talking with Peaches, and, she kind of just pushed me. She had been in a minute. She, was like, do this thing. And her and I are very similar in the same sense that, we are career students. And,
that's that money. That's 25.
We looking for the next dollar. And so I started in 03, and within that 3 years with no education, I had a master's degree. And from that point on, I couldn't stop, not only for the money, but I also couldn't stop because I enjoy learning about the next thing. So I have a bachelor's degree and I have 2 master's degrees. And I'm grateful that I'm using those my master's in business right now, because being in the military, doing the job that you're doing, and the government job that I'm doing, I wasn't utilizing those degrees. So I am now.
Good.
Okay. To be clear, she has a Bachelor of Arts in Management with St. Leo University. She has a Master of Business Administration and Human Resource Management. She has a Master of Arts in Education, focusing adult learned education and training as well. So, and what she's about to go to do her PhD, her doctorate.
Yeah, I'm just looking for some way to pay for it, because I have been blessed to say, like, I feel so sorry for those people that, get out there and want to get an education, and they get wrapped up in these student loans, and you get out and you can't even make it. You know what I'm saying? Because you done got an education so you can get a great job, and now you can't even, make your way because you got to pay student loans. So I'm blessed to say I have not a dollar in a student loan. And I have, like she said, a bachelor's and 2 masters. So I'm just looking for how I can get somebody to pay for this PhD.
That's what's up. So before we transition over to our subject matter for the day, I just want to say that for Black History Month, certainly one of the things that should be high on your list of to-dos, other than teach your children more than just about Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks, is to support Black-owned small businesses. That should be front and center on everybody's radar. Definitely. Not just for this month, but we'll start now, and we'll continue that throughout the rest of 2020 and 21. Yeah, 21.
And before you end the segment, I just want to say that, as you say, for us to support Black-owned businesses, let us be mindful as Black-owned businesses to be supportive of those that are supporting us. You know what I'm saying? Be mindful of that, because you hear so often like, oh, they don't, they're not on time. They don't do this.
Service is bad.
Customer
Blah, blah,
service sucks,
Yeah.
whatever. Be mindful of that if people are supporting you, be the best that you can be as a business. You know what I'm saying? So that you can continue to get that customer base and that word out there, because there's no greater, way of getting yourself out there than word of mouth.
That's
if
a
I
fact.
tell a friend who tells a friend who tells a friend, it could go a long way.
Indeed.
Y'all hear that? Like, share, and comment.
Hey.
That's right. Like, share, and comment. If you on here commenting but you haven't liked and shared, you're wrong.
You hear me? Talk to them. It's 3 of them. All right, go ahead, Peaches.
Okay, so of course, like I said, this is the kickoff of Black History Month. And now normally we would talk about what is Martin Luther King famous for? His I Have a Dream speech, right?
Yes.
We're not doing that today.
No.
We're going to talk about the I've been to the mountaintop speech.
We know about that too, Peaches. What's going to be different?
I'm about to tell you what was said. And actually I done brought this up to like 4 people. Only one knew what I was talking about.
Okay.
You know.
I know.
my boy, you know. You know. Okay, so the speech was he delivered to pretty much. I'm not gonna go through all of it, but he delivered the mountaintop speech in support of the striking sanitation workers at the Mason Temple in Memphis, April the 3rd, 1968. I remember that day, April the 3rd, 1968, and he was asking for certain things. He stated about him talking to God, and he asked, what did he have in store for him, and how long did he want to live? Because of course nobody dreams about dying. You know what he told him? He said, if you allow me to live just a few years in the second half of the 20th century, I will be happy. He went on to discuss the posture of the world and everything that was going on. And some of his tidbits of his speech was, the nation is sick. Trouble is in the land. Confusion all around. And he said that the masses of people were all rising up. And he wasn't just talking about in Memphis. He was talking about in Africa. He was talking about in Egypt. He was talking about Johannesburg, specifically Africa. Just the whole posh state of the Union. I don't want to say state of the Union, but state of the world.
The state of the world, yeah.
So guess what's going on today? Now, he said this in 1968. The nation is sick. Trouble is in the land. Confusion is all around. Something to think about.
Yeah.
I take notes today. I'm ready for y'all. I'm ready.
It's amazing as far as how that is still so valid. What is it, 50 some odd years later?
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate. It
is very unfortunate. Go ahead, Peach.
Not only is that, he was tired. Of course he had the dream of unity. Now keep that in mind. However, at this speech, the day before he was murdered, guess what he said? He said, we have been forced to grapple with people, and men have been talking about, grappling for years, talking about war and peace. He said, what? But no longer can we just talk about it. It's no longer a choice between violence and non-violence in this world. It's non-violence or non-existence. Totally different from what we going on right now.
Right.
And that's what I said. He said he's happy to be in Memphis. But I'm going to go to the meat of it. I'm not going to go, as far as when he told them he wanted to bring change to the front door. He was bringing it to the front door of the people who wronged them. He says, always anchor our external direction with the power of economic withdrawal. Now, we are poor people. Individually, we poor when you compare us to the white society in America. We are poor. Never stop and forget that collectively, that means all of us together. It don't matter what I make. It don't matter what Mark make. We poor as a people. Or whatever he says, after you leave the United States, Soviet Union, remember before it was USSR, I ain't gonna read what he said. Great Britain, West Germany, France, and I could name a couple others. The Negro collectively is richer than most nations in the world. It's powerful. He says we have an annual income of more than $30 billion. This was in 1968. He says the United States and more of the national budget. He says we have more money than the national budget of Canada. That's deep.
Right.
We don't have nothing to show for it.
Not at all.
He said that's power right there if we know how to pull it. And that's why when she say support the people that support us, of course we do, but it's still gonna be a emphasis on supporting Black businesses because we're trying to come up out of a deficit. And unless we pour into something, an empty cup is never gonna get full. So I support everybody, but I really I uplift, and I would like to give a platform to, Black businesses, because unless you get a government contract, or you hit something lucky, or you know how to put yourself in the right rooms, you're gonna fight an uphill battle forever. Now he said this. Okay, he said when they left or whatever, right? He says now if you're not prepared to do. I'm skipping it. He said our agenda calls for withdrawing economic support. Pretty much, he said he needed to go in all of those businesses and tell them that they're not happy with how they treating God's children.
Right.
That they wanted change. He wanted change, and if they wasn't prepared to do that, our agenda calls for withdrawing economic support from you. This is the day before he got killed. This was his speech the day before he died. Not I have a dream in one nation that your kids is being taught, and we was taught coming up.
Mm-hmm.
He says, tell your neighbors not to buy Coca-Cola in Memphis. Tell them not to buy C-Test milk. Tell them not to buy, what is the other bread? Wonder Bread. He says, tell them not to buy Heart's Bread. Thus was the people, the mainstream people that was making the money, still, some of them still around today. Coca-Cola is one of them. He says, the garbage men have been feeling the pain. Now we must kind of redistribute the pain. Mm-hmm. He pretty much said the only way that we're going to do that, he said we got to strengthen Black institutions, support Black businesses. I call upon you to take your money out the banks downtown and deposit your money in Tri-State Bank. We want bank-in movement in Memphis. I'm not asking you something that we're not doing ourselves at SCLC. He says, you have 6 or 7 Black insurance companies in Memphis. Take your money out the insurance company. We want to have an insurance in. He says, now these things are practical things that we can do. We begin to the process of building a greater economic base. We failed. He said, at the same time, we are putting pressure where it really hurts. If you don't play with their money, they don't care. You got to play with the money. He said, we got some difficult days ahead, but it don't matter to me now. Guess what he said? Because I've been to the mountaintop. And I don't mind. So that's just something to know. And when we teaching our kids and they happy they got that main role, I have a dream, they need to know the truth. They can go put on a performance. We play around every day, but ensure that you're instilling that in your children. As I was reading this, my daughter, when I said he know what he said, she said, I do. That's what we're trying to do. Nobody's trying to stay, but if you separate yourself, guess what? You playing with this man money, black, white, anything in between. Don't play with somebody money to get you killed. Right.
But he was on
April the 4th, 1968, Martin Luther King was assassinated the day after he gave the mountaintop speech. Now that's some Black history for you.
Right. And we know that in the year 2000, the United States government admitted to having killed him that day. his the initial speech, the speech that you're speaking of with the "I Have a Dream" speech. I can't remember if it was given in '63 or '65.
What, Uncle Kenny? What was it? It was 60. It was 65.
And so from that time forward, he changed his tune considerably.
Yeah.
If you would also recognize that this is also the time that him and Malcolm X had begun to kind of reconcile their differences. And for him, this 1963. Appreciate you.
Okay.
So there were and that even that was heard in the speech where you just said nonviolence equals non-existence.
Right.
Because he realized that we're not dealing with a people who are going to operate under the same values or morals as we are. And that although we might operate in a way that's nonviolent or what have you, that we're not going to get that in return. And certainly the way to get freedom is for us is through economics and group economics and specifically. And even then he's talking about us freeing or how powerful our black dollar was then. I mean, even right now, our dollar is just as powerful right now.
And guess what?
With the money we spend every year, we would be, if black people alone were a nation, we'd be the 18th richest country in the world.
But you see what here go hey ill figure. It's some things that he say. I'm not saying support people because they black and they have a business. Because what I'm not gonna do is let you sell me a shirt that you paid $8 for $90, and I know where you got the shirt from. You gotta have your expectations within range and within reason. I'll give you a couple dollars, but I spend my money, where it's appreciated. And this goes to show I was supposed to go get my lashes done yesterday. And the girl, she inboxed me, text me early. Now we work. She asked if I can come early. And I was like, no, unless the shop got Wi-Fi, I'm at work. Long story short, get there, she gone. But she want me to reschedule. Now I had that appointment and I had another one on the 26th. Do you know I canceled both of them? She was like, oh, you're not gonna reschedule for what? What I look like giving you a dime of my money again?
Right.
It's the way to do business.
And that's what I was saying.
Right.
If you want people to support you as a black business, your services have to be up to par. You understand? Yeah. Because it's not the black-owned businesses compared to the mainstream. With so easy. It's so easy for me to go and jump into this white owned or not black owned grocery store, but to actually sit down, and I know a few people that actually sit down, and that is what they do. They'll go and search out the black owned businesses and support them. You know what I'm saying? But it's you can't want people to support you and then not have good customer service, or you know what I'm saying? You just can't do that.
Right. I mean, and the onus is on both. Sides. Certainly, I'm one of the people. People will go out here and pay $90 for a t-shirt that got Fendi on it. If you are a black-owned business and your shirt got whatever on it, and it is a quality shirt, and I'm met with quality service or whatever, I would rather give you my money than to give it to Fendi. You know what I'm saying?
Talking about, you gotta be specific. We're not talking about no pop-up shop thing. Like a lot of these businesses is easy because to get an LLC, and some people like the hair business. That was a business that we broke into that we should have been able to maintain. Yeah, however, them bundles or whatever, we don't wear pack hair no more. So they trying to hit you in the head for the bundles, but so many people done saturated the market that everybody know the supplier. So why would I give you 3 times what you paying for a pack for a bundle of hair when I can go get it from them? You got to make it make sense. Now, if the quality is there, the customer service is there, and I know you're not trying to hit me in the head, I'm gonna spend it.
Right.
But
So Lamar is correct, and I tell people this all the time. Black-owned business is still business. You know what I'm saying? And we do have to act accordingly. And me, you know what I'm saying, as a person who owns, you know, a Black-owned business, I try to ensure that, you know, I am operating at a level. I'm giving you more quality for less money. That's basically how we have to operate now. You know what I'm saying, as a Black-owned business. Because guess what? The worst consumer you can piss off is a Black person. Because a Black person going,
you know, I get on Google.
Okay,
like,
yeah. So you don't, and at the same time, it's the same time, just like you said earlier, Chaz. If you get that same Black person, if they give you if they say, look, I got this joint from TaylorMade Creations, it was off the chain. You know what I'm saying? We we always operate, you know what I'm saying, basically as a tribe. So, you know what I'm saying? If Peaches say that TaylorMade Creations is the joint, then guess what? I'm going to be like, yo, let me check this joint so I can go. So, I mean, it's all about how we act.
But let you say, man, I bought this shirt and this joint peeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and that's not, like, I'm not going to support you if I can, like, I kind of like everybody that I deal with or y'all see on the show that's doing something, you know, being sincere, we'll support them. So I already knew before we came on here that TaylorMade Creations was stamped, but I just wanted you guys to hear it too, because this shirt would have been threw on the back of the chair and I'd read her ass for filth. But
you know what? No, here's another thing, you know what I'm saying, as well. Black-owned businesses, I'm gonna use myself for an example because I'm different than most consumers because I'm going to make a concerted effort to seek out a Black-owned business, right? And if I do so, let's say I did some business with TaylorMade and I got a shirt that was a little, you know what I'm saying, it wasn't really up to par. Black-owned businesses have to learn how to take constructive criticism.
Absolutely.
They gotta be able to, because especially if I know you, see, I know you now, you the plug, so I could be like, hey, look, I got this shirt you sent me. This wasn't it. You know what I'm saying? This wasn't like the Jones that you did before. So not that I'm, you know what I'm saying, but just don't sell that to nobody else. You know what I'm saying? Like that, or else you're gonna. We need to be able to take that type of criticism because a lot of times, and I've been in, you know, in those situations where I would go talk to somebody and say, hey, you know, bro, or you know, sis, listen, the quality that here is subpar. You know what I'm saying? And I want to continue to work for you. I want to continue to come here. I want to continue to come here and patronize your business. But if this is going to be what I get every time, then I'm probably going to not do that. So if you could,
but you know, and then if you don't receive it, what's it? Damien mom from Friday. I know somebody who like it.
Right, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, we have to figure out a way to really wholeheartedly buy into group economics.
Because our attention span.
You know what I mean?
He's saying our attention span too short. Can you be specific as far as what?
I mean, I mean, TikTok did that to us. TikTok, all that stuff where what is it, 30 seconds?
I think what he's saying like, you know, because then he commented and he said the worst person to upset is a white woman or Karen because she gonna blow you up. You know what I'm saying? She gonna she gonna write all those, you know, she gonna lead them reviews.
Okay.
Hey, when they come up to you with this right here, can I speak to the manager, please? It's a wrap for you. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Ill Figure just made the realest comment, and when he said it's because we aren't taught business, we are taught to hustle, and the two aren't the same.
Absolutely.
Boy, you just said something just then.
And Dame said the same thing. You don't know how to do a business, but you can hustle. Right. And you can't pass down a hustle. Like all of our shows is coming tenfold. I like it.
I like it. You know what I'm saying? But that's a fact. But again, getting back to the point, we have to know and how to we have to know how to create the business. You know what I mean? People think it's just a simple thing. And I can tell you, as somebody who does business consultations, people don't know how to open the business. And I've opened several. I know people have opened several.
The hustle can only go so far.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You understand? The hustle can only go so far, because once you get to a certain point, then you need that knowledge and that understanding of business. You know what I'm saying? So you could be a hustler all day, but it's going to be a fight for which you can't pass. You understand?
And that hustle attitude and that hustle movement is good. Keep that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Also gain the knowledge on how to operate a business. You know what I'm saying? That's where there's going to be a difference, and that's why there's nothing wrong with partnering with people as well.
Absolutely not. Yeah,
because some people have the strength. You know, that hustle is their strength, and you need that. But you might have somebody who knows the business. Okay, you go out there, you do the hustling. I'm gonna do the business, and we're gonna, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna help each other, you know, progress. So economics is definitely was then and continues to be the key to you know, us as a people gaining some type of freedom, if you will. I hate to use that word in that way, but you know what I mean. But when it comes to understanding what we need to do, everybody has their own idea, and of course, that's going to be problematic for us as a unit or as a group of people. But what we do all have to understand is foundationally, we are at the point. I think it was Ill Figure or somebody earlier said that everybody's had a 400-year head start, and that's true.
Oh yeah.
Right, but you know what I mean? But we are such a people. I mean, look at where we have come in just those 50 some odd years. Are we where we need to be or where we want to be? Not at all. But there's still a system at play outside us that causes some influence to whether we go forward or rears. You know what I mean? So we got to always have that in mind when we're dealing with one another as people and definitely as a business.
I think that's for everything, though. In order to change it, I think they should teach about credit. You know, they should teach about business. Like, not if you, well, I went to a business career school, but that's just something that they should know. Like, for me to be telling my daughter this and that and another, she was like, well, it just dawned on me. She was like, well, how was I supposed to know that? I didn't learn that in school and I get straight A's. Like, you know, you're smart, you know, now you know, like, write it down.
Yeah, and how many people say that? I mean, that they, you know, that they were never taught that. They were never taught about credit. They were never taught about these kind of things. And so you hear that so often, and that is something, like you said, Peaches, is so important that they begin to implement that and put that in the school system. And if not even there, it should start at home. You know what I'm saying? As parents,
right.
You know, as the mistakes we made, the bad credit, the this, the that, whatever, and you gotten yourself to a point, you know, you should be teaching your children that. And I think that it is so important for their survival in this society.
Ill Figure says to change the cycle, we need to better influence the youth as to how their money works, and if so, they'll have a greater understanding as to why their dollars impact the same hoods they hustle in. Man, look, we're gonna. I know that there was a talk of us doing a show that just featured nothing but Black-owned businesses. But I think maybe we should do that as well as have a show about business, period, and how to handle that business. Ill Figure, man, you really spitting some game.
You know who this is, right? This the one who went to Orlando and missed it. That's who went to Orlando.
What?
Rob.
Oh, okay. I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, facts. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but he's spitting jewels right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
very knowledgeable.
Yeah, definitely.
He did my retirement. He was the what you call the people?
Hey, I'm retired too.
No, I'm talking about my my speaker. He did everything for me.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's what's up.
And he had went first.
Let's go. Let's go ahead and get ready to move forward and shoot it over to you, Peaches, for your closeout subject of the day.
Okay. Of course, y'all know I found a light and everything. I'm a prankster. I got jokes. You know, my mama used to smack me upside my head forward when I was little. Used to make it chase me. You know, but the person who I want to feature that doesn't get the recognition that I don't think he does, is Richard Pryor. You know, he was born December the 1st, 1940, and he passed away December the 10th, 2005. He's from the same hometown as our guest Chaz, Peoria.
Ironically.
Yes, Peoria, Illinois. Okay, the thing about him is, you know, despite his odds and the hands that he dealt, that's why I look at him and I root for him. You know, he still made some of himself. He used to be fucked up, but you know, he did his thing. Okay, he was born, his mama was a prostitute and his daddy was a bartender, a boxer, and he served in World War II for a little while. You know, he was a victim of sexual abuse as a child. You know, his grandmother raised him and he got expelled from school at the age of 14. Okay, but he went to the Army for 2 years, and after that, he started moving around. You know, y'all hear him, remember Lady Sings the Blues, you know, his little breakout points. My point of bringing him up, you know, of course, you know, he actually was the first person to receive the Mark Twain Prize for American humor from the Kennedy Center in 1998. Okay, I bring this up because we look at the downside and we got to do that Wakanda forever and all that. You know, it was people that was around that we got to be thankful and we blessed to have, because at a time of turmoil, that man brought unity. You know, he had everybody like Richard Pryor. He gave us a reason to smile. He gave us a reason to laugh. You know, you make a light of a bad situation. You spit one of his famous lines, you know, and you know, everybody laughing. People that was hit got it. So that's another person. I'm not going to dwell too much because we at our hour, but I want y'all to look him up and look at his life and his legacy. Just somebody to think about.
Appreciate it. That was Richard Pryor. Again, this is Chaz at the bottom from Tailor-Made Creations. Please make sure that you guys go to her website, www.tailormadecreations.com. That's creations with a K. And please, you know, support our sister as she builds her business up. I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight, man. We had some real good engagement, some real good conversation, man. I appreciate y'all. We're gonna come back and hit y'all upside y'all head again next week with more Black history facts that you guys probably didn't think of, and I will have my close out person or Black history.
He said, have your kids download Credit Stacker. It teaches them about financial literacy. Let me put that in my notes.
Credit Stacker. Hey, is that an app or is that a website? And it was created by a Black woman. You know, Black women, the smartest people on the face of the planet. So definitely, if a Black woman did that, you want to make sure you go get that. All right. Again, man, I appreciate everybody, man. Tune in next week, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. One love. Peace and grace.
Thanks for the support, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thanks, Chaz.